Morning everyone, myself Dr. Nisha Malik, Assistant Professor from the Department of Physiotherapy, RPIT Karnal. Welcome to our YouTube channel which is RPIT Academics. So in today's topic we're gonna talk about principles and procedures of exercise therapy. So first of all, examination, evaluation and treatment planning. First is examine and evaluate the patient impairments and level of function. Determine any precautions and prognosis and the plan the intervention. Determine the ability of patient to participate in the range of motion activity and whether passive range of motion or active assisted range of motion or active range of motion can meet the immediate goals. Determine the amount of motion that can be safely applied for the condition of the tissues and health of the individuals. Decide what patterns can be best meet the goals. Range of motion techniques may be performed in the anatomic planes of motion, frontal, sagittal, transverse. Muscle range of elongation, antagonistic to the line of pull of the muscle. Combined patterns is diagonal motion or movements that incorporate several planes of motion. D1 is functional patterns like motion used in activities of daily living, we can call ADL. Then monitor the patient general condition and response during and after the examination and intervention. Note any change in vital signs, any change in the warmth and the color of the segment, and any change in the range of motion, pain or quality of the movement. Document and communicate findings and interventions. Then patient preparation. Communicate with the patient, describe the plan and method of intervention to meet the goals. Free the reason from restrictive clothing, linen, plinths, and dressing. Drape the patient as necessary. Position the patient in comfortable position with the proper body alignment and stabilization. But that also allow you to move the segment though the available range of motion. Position yourself so proper body mechanics can be used. Then application of techniques. To control movement, grasp the extremity around the joints. If the joints are painful, modify the grip. Still providing support necessary for control. Support areas of poor structural integrity such as hypermobile joint, recent fracture site or paralyzed limb segment. Move the segment though its complete pain-free range to the point of tissue resistance. Do not force beyond the available range. If you force motion, it becomes a stretching technique. Perform the motion smoothly and rhythmically. If 5 to 10 repetition, the number of repetition depend on the objective of program and patient condition. Application of passive range of motion. During passive range of motion, the force for movement is external, being provided by a therapist or mechanical device. When appropriate, a patient may provide the force and be taught to move the part with a normal extremity. No active resistance or assistance is given by the patient muscle that cross the joint. If the muscle contract, it become an active exercise. The motion is carried out within the free range of motion. That is, the range of motion is available without forced motion or pain. Then application of active range of motion. Demonstrate the motion desired using passive range of motion. Then ask the patient to perform the motion. Have your hands in position to assist or guide the patient if needed. Provide assistance only needed for smooth motion. When there is a weakness, assistance may be required only at the beginning or the end of the range of motion, or when the effect of gravity has the greatest moment arm, that means torque. The motion is performed within the available range.